How's everyone doing? Hope you're alright. Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Hope everyone had a good Easter weekend and everything. Nice little long weekend for everyone. Nice 4-day weekend and everything. Right. Today's video is going to be on why you shouldn't get into debt while you're in prison, right? And not to lend things while you're in prison, right? If you go into prison, right, and you start lending stuff off people, right? A lot of people go into prison never touching drugs in their life. A lot of people have taken drugs and dabbled and done a bit of this and a bit of that. And people are getting addicted to spice within prisons, right? Now, if you start lending, because what happens in prison, right? People offer you drugs on tick, right? Now, but the thing is, right? When you don't pay them, there's a thing called double bubble. This is tobacco, it's spice, it's drugs, it's prescription drugs, everything. If you lend something off someone who is in prison, right, and you do not pay them, they will double it and double it and double it and double it and double it, right? And then prison's a paranoid place anyway, right? You end up looking over your shoulder, and people will get targeted. People in prison get their asses kicked because they're in debt, right? Now, like I say, I'm trying to help and advise people here that are going to go to prison for the first time, right? I've been in prison, I know the script, I know the score. That's why I'm trying to advise people not to do certain things, right? If you go to prison and you've got money on your canteen and you can afford to buy drugs and you want to buy them, right? Buy them. I never tell anyone to take drugs, right? But like I say, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it, aren't you? Do not touch spice. If you've never touched it before, don't touch it, right? Because like I say, people in prison, right? Prison's a very selfish place, yeah, and everyone's looking out for themselves, yeah, man. They might be your friend and stuff, but if you don't pay your debt and you don't pay it and you don't pay it and you don't pay it, you'll end up in debt. You're always behind and you'll always end up looking over your shoulder and you will get targeted. It's prison, it's lawless, no one gives a fuck. You might have a reputation, doesn't matter, no reputation matters in prison. There's always someone bigger and badder, yeah, man. Right, now how it works, right, like if people are going to buy drugs, right, then what'll end up happening is, like I say, then once you buy drugs, yeah, and like you become dependent on them, because you will. People, spice heads we call them, right? Spice. There's other drugs that are in the prison system. Any drug you can get on the outside of prison, you get in prison and stuff. It costs more because obviously it's prison and stuff like that, and it's got to get in and supply and demand and all that good stuff, right? Now, like I say, it's a business, right? Just like people become drug dealers on the outside, people become drug dealers in the inside, right? Now, if you can't buy drugs, right, and you've got no money coming in, and you know you're not going to have money coming in, because the mind and the body is telling them, I need that drug, people will get into debt and they'll say, yeah. And then the drug dealer, yeah, will keep giving it you on tick and giving it you on tick, and then he'll cut you off to a point when you've not paid, and then you'll be rattling then because you'll need the drug, yeah. Like I say, fucking spice is more addictive than heroin and crack cocaine combined, yeah. It's super addictive, and it will take over your life. Do not touch it. But if you're going to touch it, I'm trying to help you and advise you guys, right? Now, let me flip the coin, right? For those that are on the outside that might have loved ones that are going into prison, if your loved one's ringing you every 5 minutes, yeah, begging and pleading with you to send money in and stuff like that, right? Or they're telling you to send money in to prisoners that are not themselves, so i.e. a different prisoner with a different name and a different prison number, right? Then that's a warning signs should be flashing right in your head, because you'll be thinking, well, why are you telling me to send money into someone that's not you, right? So you're not sending your money into your loved one. Your loved one's asked you to send money into another prisoner with a different prisoner name and a prisoner number, right? And the reason is he'll be in severe fucking debt up to his eyeballs, right? And he'll be at risk of getting a kick in, or he might have had a kick in, or they might have put a deadline and said, you get me paid in the next 2-3 days, or you're going to get fucked up, right? And it goes on, guys. Like I say, this video, right, I'm trying to cover both angles, trying to cover it from a prisoner perspective and also from a family's perspective on the outside. Like I say, if you've got a loved one that's ringing you every 5 minutes, begging you, pleading with you, fucking like to send money in, to send you this in, to send that in, right, to them, or a prisoner that's with a different prisoner name and a prison number that's different, right? That money's going to the drug dealer, right? That is a true way of knowing that your loved one is on drugs, right? Plus, they might just come out and tell you, right? You'll see what I mean, guys. Like I say, I'm talking these videos are aimed at people that are going into prison for the first time, right? Now, like I say, right, if you can't afford the drugs, right, don't get them on tick. But like I say, people that are on drugs, they don't think logically, right? The craving for the drug gets the better of them, so that leads them on to getting the drugs on spice, right? To getting the drugs on tick, sorry. And then, like I say, the drugs on tick will last, right? But then you've got to pay. And if you don't pay, there's a thing, like I've explained, right? There's double bubble. That means it gets doubled. And then when it doesn't pay again, it gets doubled again. There's only so many times a drug dealer is going to give you, like, before you take in a piss. And then you're going to get targeted, right? Now, there's many different ways a drug dealer could target you, right? Spice is big currency in prison, just like burn is, right? Burn's tobacco, for those that don't know. And the drug dealer will offer spice to someone, right? Because on every wing, right, you've got mellow kids, you've got quiet kids, you've got loud and lady kids, right? And you've got kids who don't give a fuck, right? And the kids that don't give a fuck, they'll come to the dealer to buy drugs. The dealer will say, I tell you what, if you give my man a kick in because he owes me fucking for, I don't know, £20, £30, £40 ball of spice, yeah? Or like however much he owes, yeah? I'll give you like a spliff's worth, or one pop's a spliff's worth, or two pops, or a £5 ball, right? A fiver, just like a fiver's worth of spice, yeah? And like I say, the guy's thinking, fucking hell, like this is gonna I don't have to pay anything. He's gonna pay me spice to fill someone in. And like I say, money talks, or drugs talk in that instance. And what will happen if you can be in your cell or you can be in the shower? Someone will go to the pool table, get a pool ball, put it in the sock, right? Come up to you on a shower, bam, smash it down your head. And it goes on, guys. And I'm not trying to scaremonger or anything like that. It's prison and it's lawless, right? Like I say, the dealer might deal with you himself, right? He could just use these, right? Or he could get he could sharpen a toothbrush, right, at the end, so it becomes a shank, so he can stab someone. Like, even the smallest thing, a pen is a weapon in prison. If you put a pen between two of your fingers like that, and you've got it there, and you thrust it into someone enough times with enough force, you're going to punch the skin out of you, right? So like I say, the dealer can deal with himself. He can pay someone, and believe me, he will offer drugs or spice or burn to the person, whatever they desire, to go after you. Now, what will happen, like I say, the person will go to the dealer will say, right, how much do you want to go into a pad and to fill him in? The kid will say a price, the dealer will barter a price with a kid, then the price has been arranged then, right? Now, that kid will come back to the dealer once he's filled you in, if you owe money, right? So the dealer will sit there with the drugs, right? So he's not lost anything yet. The kid will come, might follow you into your pad, lock the door, kick fuck out you, shank you, right? Shank is like a homemade weapon, like he'll cut you open inside and stuff. He'll give you a kick in. He could swirl you with hot water, or hot water and sugar, which is napalming, which is like hot water and sugar congeals. It becomes like a liquid, a thick paste. It lands onto your. The hot water melts your skin and the sugar pulls the skin from your face. It goes on, guys. Check it out on Google and stuff, right? It goes on. Or he could swirl you where it pisses into a cup or a flask, and he'll throw it over you and he'll give you a kick in, right? And like I say, guys, I'm not trying to scaremonger anyone. It fucking goes on, guys. Like I say, prison's a very paranoid place anyway, right? And you don't know where that attack's going to come from. There was a cleaner on my last stretch, right? I used to like the kid a lot. Became addicted to spice, right? Started stealing from the other cleaners, right? Stealing like canteen items like toiletries, food and stuff like that to take to the other drug dealers on the wing, right? To other inmates on the wing, yeah, to pay for his spice. So he was stealing from us to feed to give to the dealer, right? So people cut him off and stuff. He used to lock himself behind his door because he was scared he was going to get a kick in. Then he lost his. Then he got pissed on a drug test, and spice showed up in his drug test as cannabinoids. Right, the strain, like, it comes like 1FW5 or something. Right, he got pissed positive. He was sacked. He got moved down to A1. Right, and last time I heard, he was on OP. For those that don't know, OP are deadheads, right? People that owe money to for drugs and stuff, right? I heard he got attacked, he got smashed up down the main because he'd obviously done the same down the main. He got in debt, he was stealing drugs from people and stuff and canteen items and blah blah blah. Got filled in, right? There was loads of YOs on A1. Got filled in and put himself as a DNU, do not unlock, or OP, right? OP means you're locked behind your door 23 hours a day. When the lads are out, you're locked behind your door. When the lads get locked out, when the lads get locked up, you get out for half an hour in the morning, and then when the lads are locked up at night, you get out for half an hour at the evening. That's it, right? Your prison's going to be miserable. You're going to be scared shitless. You're going to, like I say, people, while you're behind your door, people are going to be threatening you through your door. Your door's locked, so they can't get at you, but they might throw piss at you through your flat. If you've got a flap that opens, they'll throw piss at you, they'll spit at you, they'll try and fucking scald you through there. Like I say, it's a very paranoid place and stuff like that. If you do not want to be in a position, if you want to take drugs and you can afford to take drugs, take them if you want to. Because like I say, I wouldn't tell anyone to take drugs, but if you're going to take them, you're going to take them, aren't you? Nothing I can say or do, right? But if you can't afford drugs, don't fucking take them, don't get them on tick, because if you can't afford to pay them back, you will end up getting fucked up. It's prison. There ain't no screws that are going to protect you. It's prison. It's lawless. No, if you think the prison is going to give a fuck about the screws, they don't give a fuck, mate. They'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait, right? And they'll get the opportunity, right? And they'll fucking do you. And if they don't do you, they'll pay someone to do you. So every time you're out and about on the landing, you've got to be looking over your shoulder, left and right, letting no one close to you, because you're paranoid who's going to attack you. Right, and it goes on, guys. If you don't believe me, right, speak to anyone that's been in prison, speak to a loved one that's in prison and ask them what goes on for deadheads and stuff, and the people that take the piss when it comes to drugs and spice and everything else. I used to gamble in prison. I'd fucking, like I say, I didn't smoke or drink, right? I had hooch, yeah, but like I say, I don't do drugs. So if I owed money for a debt, yeah, because I lost a game of FIFA or I played pool and I'd owe somebody there, I'd have the money there on my canteen. I'd just go to the fucking kiosk, I'd order what they want, right? For those and then, like I say, that's that. So I was sweet, yeah. If your loved one is asking you for those, this is for the people on the outside. If your loved one's contacting you asking you to send money, right, to clear a debt, right, what they'll do, they'll ring you, they'll ask you, there's two things they'll do. They'll ask you to send money to the prisoner, your loved one, i.e., or they'll give you a prison number and a name and ask you to send the postal order or the electronic payment to that prisoner, and that's to clear their debt. But guys, the thing is, yeah, that's not a one-off, because then they do it again and again and again, because the family's paying to keep them out of the shit. There's families outside that are scared shitless that the loved one's going to get killed in prison or fucked over in prison or scarred for life in prison, right? Like I say, the prison is very selfish, especially when they're on. If the person's on drugs, they're going to be doubly selfish, right? Because all they want is that drug. They focus on that drug. They want that drug. They'll do it. They'll step over their whole family. They'll sell the family down the river to get that drug, guys. And like I say, it goes on. Prison's very ruthless place, right? Like I say, the prisoner will deal with you himself. The drug dealer. If not, he'll get someone to do it. And like I say, they might slash you from ear to ear. What they do, they get a toothbrush. They melt a fucking prison razor blade into the end of the toothbrush, and you go. And your tongue is cutting you open, and your tongue's coming out of your cheek, right? And it goes on. Prisoners come out of prison scarred, this, that, the other, broken nose, scarred here, cut there, bam. And like I say, you know what I mean? And the thing is as well, within prison, you don't grass, you just don't do it. Snitches get stitches, right? So if you owe money to someone for drugs, and you get fucking beaten the fuck up, right, or levered within an inch of your life, right, or slashed or stabbed, right, you cannot go into the screws and say my guy did it, because the whole wing will disown you. They'll all be after you, right? You don't grass in prison. You just don't do it, guys. Like I say, and if you do grass, you end up as an OP, and then you get terrorised behind your door and stuff. And then people seek to commit suicide. They slash up, things like that. And like I say, they're not just going to move you because you owe money to it. They're not going to move you to another prison because you owe drug money for this, that, and the other, are they? No. So like I say, guys, if your loved one on the inside is begging you to send money in, and like you can see that there's like an urgency, or they're snapping down the phone for you to send money in, chances are they owe money for drugs. A lot of people that go into prison take drugs, right, for the first time, or they get things on tick, right? Please don't do it. It's as simple as that. If you're going to go to prison and you can't afford to take drugs, or you know that you're not going to have money coming in, don't blag the dealer and say, yeah, you're hard to get the fix, because that's what people are doing. Because druggies lie to get the fix, don't they? They steal, they lie. You know what I mean? Like I say, they step over their own mother to get it. It's as simple as that. Right, guys, as always, I'm going to leave it here. Let me know what you think about the video. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Have you had experience of this? Has your loved one been ringing you for drugs, for money and stuff to send into someone for drugs and stuff? You'll have to let me know. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.